Good morning, saints. Welcome back. If God is real, why do we suffer? It's one of the most uncomfortable questions and one of the most profound and common questions among all followers of the Lord. It's something that's unavoidable. When we live on earth, when we follow God, this question's bound to come up at some point. A good friend of mine asked this question yesterday. He's facing tremendous trials right now. He's facing things most of us would never want to face. And he's asking the question, if God is real, how can I be facing these things? I don't know the answer, the cognitive answer that's going to resolve that issue. I think that if anyone had discovered that answer, the book that they had written on it would have been read by every human on the planet. But there are things that help. There are perspectives that make it possible to live with the seeming contrast between God being so powerful and the fact that we experience great trial on this earth. So today is the first in a series. I'm not sure how long the series will be, but it's the first in a series of videos of things, perspectives that I've encountered that help to live out a life of genuine faith on a broken planet. And the first portion I'd like to share is from the book of Hebrews, chapter 11. May I read from verse 13? All these people, heroes of faith, were still living by faith when they died. They did not yet receive the things promised. They only saw them and welcomed them from a distance. And they confessed that they were aliens and strangers on earth. People who say such things show that they're looking for a country of their own. Instead, they were longing for a better country, for a heavenly one. Therefore, God is not ashamed to be called their God, for He has prepared a city for them. This for me is one of the more important things. I have heard it said that in countries where people suffer a great deal, this question, if God is a loving God, why do I suffer, tends to come up far less often than it does in countries in the Western world where our lives more closely resemble what they will one day be in heaven. It seems that the blessings we enjoy can become for us a stumbling block in our journey on earth. It seems that it's possible that when our lives are secure and comfortable and there's a great deal of provision, and I don't want to miss the fact that God does intend for us to live peaceful lives, but it seems that it's possible that when that starts to happen in our life, we believe maybe that this is what life is all about. Scripture says we do well to remember that this is not our home. We are aliens, foreigners, sojourners, travelers. And so we treat this as a temporary place. I think ultimately our yearning for a peace-filled life is real, and it's a yearning for the life that we're going to enjoy with God. Jesus said, I go to prepare a place for you, and if I go, I will return, and I will receive you to myself, so that you may be with me where I am. That yearning is real. But I think we also do well to remember that we are strangers here. This is not our home. In a very real way, we live on a broken planet. A planet that was plunged into darkness when Adam and Eve fell. We are among a race of people who are born with a disease, a bent in our heart that is called sin. We ourselves and those with whom we live constantly make choices for darkness and death. And those choices, whether they're our own or those of others, they affect us all the time. So I think for me, I found this helpful. I'm finding it increasingly helpful to remember, while the Lord has blessed me here, this is not where I'm meant to be forever. And when things shift in that status of blessing, when things I've had are taken away, when the health I've enjoyed is no longer there, when work that I've had is taken away, when people I love die, when conflicts come, it is helpful to remember that there's something else coming that is permanent. It is filled with God, and the conflict which you now experience is gone. This is by no means the full answer to the question. It's by no means the only thing that helps me to carry on walking with real faith in a real world. But it has helped, and I pray that it would help you remember you're a foreigner and a sojourner. When I was young, I was in the Cub Scouts, and from time to time we would go on a camp. We'd put up tents, sleep in the tents, cook on fires. And if I'm going to be honest, I didn't really enjoy it. There was a lot about it that was fun. But man, I was always keen to get home. And a lot of the comfort that helped me endure those camps was knowing that they were not permanent, that I'd be going home to a warm bed and really well-cooked food. May that perspective help you and I. While we may be here for a long time, we're not here forever. There is a home that has been prepared for us, a place that's calling our name. And let's live in the light of the fact that that is our final destination. May His peace be your inheritance. May His grace wrap itself around you today, and may His joy be your strength. May His joy overwhelm you. God bless, my fellow sojourner.